Story RH, the podcast that makes a long story short.
Welcome to all.
History is made of stories.
In this episode, we'll be talking about the search for meaning and how it can also be an individual responsibility.
Many people have raised their voices to decry a certain loss of meaning. The quest for the Holy Grail has become a quest for meaning, which some fear may be forever lost. A few have blamed the internet, lumping together scoops and fake news into a single category of vague and dubious information.
Others blame financial markets or politicians, but maybe we all have a role to play to restore meaning to our actions. So, the quest for meaning, what's the story?
To find meaning, we must examine the direction we're headed but also the reasons that motivated our choice of destination. We must always know where we want our efforts to take us and why. Without these 2 points of reference, the quest for meaning will be fruitless.
Yes, and it's important to remember that meaning is subjective. What's meaningful to me may not be meaningful to others. For example, some people would argue that time spent on Excel tallying and analyzing a company's profits and losses is a meaningless pursuit,
while others would see the same pursuit as an important contribution to the long-term health of the company.
Any paid work can be meaningful enough for someone who is principally motivated by money, whereas others will require a collective social or even humanist aspect in addition to their salary to feel their work is meaningful.
That's right. As you can see, meaning correlates closely to what motivates us.
But even though this personal dimension is important, that doesn't mean that there's no collective dimension to meaning.
We can't say it enough. A company is first and foremost a collective adventure guided by a destination, a mission, and a project.
In other words, it has a heading and therefore a meaning. Our individual contributions to the collective project at the heart of the company can only be meaningful if they are in line with the company's destination.
Pursuing an exclusively individual goal for personal enrichment or to advance your career, while ignoring the common good that is the company project, contributes to the loss of meaning so many have deplored of late.
So, meaning within a company is an individual responsibility on 2 different levels. First, you have to find meaning and motivation for yourself within the framework of the collective project, but you also need to contribute to the company's mission.
And to do that, you have to ask yourself the right questions. You have to develop your critical thinking. Doubt is a compass of sorts that helps us to find our way back to the right path.
When, amid the daily rush, you find yourself wondering between Zoom meetings, what's the point of all this? Is my job meaningful? Maybe it's time to take a break, grab a coffee, and seriously ponder the question.
Why am I doing this? What is the hidden meaning behind this task or that one? What is the goal of what I'm doing?
What's the overall project? How will what I'm doing contribute to something bigger? Am I really contributing to the mission assigned to me, or am I lost?
But first and foremost, what is my mission?
Taking the time to answer these questions can help you to rekindle lost meaning. And if it doesn't, maybe you are lost, in which case you can find your way back to the right path by focusing on the mission you've been given.
Managers and the HR department are responsible for encouraging this kind of introspection among employees and valuing meaning.
To recap, though the meaning we see in our work is personal in nature, it must be part of a bigger, collective picture. The company project. Individuals must take the time to consider the meaning behind their work and the contribution they're making, because meaning isn't something that can be handed to you. Is that right?
Exactly right. Way to make a long story short. Story RH, the podcast that makes a long story short.